Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief Show. I'm your host, Jenny. Today, we're diving into the exciting world of finance, politics, and culture. First up, U.S. assets are still the star players in global investing. Despite diversifying into Europe, China, and Japan, giants like Aberdeen and BlackRock are betting big on U.S. stocks, driven by tax perks and booming tech hiring. The U.S. stock market, especially the S&P 500, is hitting record highs thanks to stellar earnings and supportive legislation. Strategists advise holding onto the dollar despite its recent weakness, expecting a cyclical rebound. Next, in Hong Kong, the stock market took a dip, dropping to a two-week low as investors await U.S. trade tariff updates. The Hang Seng Index slipped 0.3%, with tech giants like Alibaba and Tencent feeling the pressure amid ongoing trade tensions with the U.S. Mainland Chinese markets also saw slight declines, reflecting global uncertainty. Meanwhile, FWD Group's IPO is making waves, and local markets continue to react to geopolitical and economic shifts, hinting at a cautious but resilient market outlook. Finally, on the cultural front, Hong Kong's art scene and business awards are buzzing. Boucheron's latest jewelry collection celebrates nature's fleeting beauty with a focus on impermanence, inspired by Japanese philosophy. Meanwhile, the inaugural SCMP Business Awards are open for nominations, recognizing outstanding leaders in the Greater Bay Area. And in a surprising twist, a controversial Chinese video game called According to South China Morning Post, Aberdeen Investments and BlackRock emphasize the enduring significance of U.S. assets for global portfolios, driven by tax incentives and robust earnings prospects, especially among smaller firms. Despite a year marked by market fluctuations, sectors such as consumer goods, healthcare, energy, and technology have demonstrated resilience. Aberdeen highlights the U.S. government's recent legislation offering tax cuts and social program cuts, which has propelled the S&P 500 to record highs, with U.S. corporate profitability remaining strong. BlackRock CIO, Alistair Hibbert, notes that U.S. equities are tactically overweight due to their consistent earnings and AI advancements, even amid geopolitical tensions and market volatility. While the U.S. dollar has weakened against major currencies this year, both firms suggest that short-term cyclical factors might boost the dollar, but overall, they see the U.S. dollar's dominance as resilient. They also point out that ongoing U.S.-China competition, especially in raw materials and technology, will shape future market dynamics, with Europe and emerging markets like China also offering promising opportunities in industrial, defense, and tech sectors. Meanwhile, the South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong stocks recently dipped to a two-week low as investors anxiously await the outcome of U.S. trade negotiations, with a critical deadline approaching on July 9. The Hang Seng Index declined 0.3%, and tech stocks like Alibaba and Tencent also saw declines amid uncertainty over tariffs and trade policies involving the U.S., Japan, South Korea, and the EU. The U.S. is preparing to notify several countries about new tariffs, intensifying market anxiety. On the mainland, indices like CSI 300 and Shanghai Composite fell slightly, with notable declines in Chinese tech and solar companies such as Meituan and Sini Solar. The trading environment remains cautious as the market closely monitors U.S. negotiations, with key players like Hong Kong-backed FWD Group beginning trading amid subdued sentiment. Across Asia-Pacific, markets mostly declined, reflecting investor concern over the potential impact of tariff escalations and trade tensions, which could influence economic growth and corporate earnings in the region. According to the Sydney Morning Herald, Star Entertainment is facing a potential $36.5 million financial penalty if its deal to sell its stake in Brisbane's Queen's Wharf precinct collapses. The company, which narrowly avoided bankruptcy earlier this year, had struck a deal in March with Hong Kong investors Chow Tai Fook Enterprises and Far East Consortium, each holding a 25% stake, to sell a combined 50% interest in the luxury Riverside development. However, tensions arose when these investors threatened to withdraw unless Star agreed to continue operating the casino within the complex. Negotiations have been extended to the end of July, but if an agreement isn't reached by then, Star will be liable for a $10 million refund of previous proceeds and an additional $26.5 million in equity contributions. The situation is further complicated by internal strife, as hundreds of Star employees walked off the job amid disputes over enterprise agreements, highlighting the company's ongoing struggles amid uncertain prospects for the sale and its future stability. According to South China Morning Post, Boucheron's latest carte blanche collection is a mesmerizing ode to the fleeting beauty of nature, inspired by the Japanese philosophy of wabi-sabi and ikebana. Claire Choisne, the Maison's creative director, masterfully captures nature's ephemeral moments, delicate tulips, wild thistles, and swaying oak trees, through unique, handcrafted jewelry that embodies imperfection and transience. These pieces blend ancient techniques with modern innovation, utilizing materials like glass, plant-based resins, and intricate diamond settings, allowing wearers to interpret the jewelry in versatile ways, from brooches to necklaces and rings, emphasizing the fragile yet eternal essence of nature's fleeting beauty. Cartier's latest high jewelry collection, en équilibre, as reported by South China Morning Post, exemplifies the Maison's mastery of harmony through contrast. Crafted over nearly 100,000 hours, the collection features breathtaking necklaces, rings, and earrings that balance opulence with simplicity, vivid colors with subtle hues. Iconic pieces like the Pavasel necklace with its Ceylon sapphire and the Tsagaan necklace inspired by the snow leopard demonstrate Cartier's ability to transform precious stones into dynamic expressions of movement and elegance. The collection's innovative gem-setting techniques create a visual effect as if the stones are flying off the skin, while animal motifs like the panther and snow leopard add a touch of wild grace, showcasing Cartier's enduring commitment to blending artistic inventiveness with refined craftsmanship. Bogossian's Lyria collection, highlighted by South China Morning Post, introduces a bold exploration of contrast and harmony through its secret garden of enchantment. This Geneva-based Maison combines vibrant gemstones, such as aquamarines, rubelites, tourmalines, and moonstones, in compositions that celebrate individuality and interconnectedness. The pieces evoke a sense of fluidity and emotional resonance, with shapes and colors unfolding organically, reflecting a philosophy of unity amid diversity. Since debuting at TEFAF, Lyria has captivated audiences with its innovative approach to gemstone harmony, emphasizing strength and softness, tradition and transformation. More than jewelry, Lyria embodies a philosophy of continuous evolution, blending centuries of expertise with visionary design to evoke a luminous, lyrical narrative of elegance and renewal. According to South China Morning Post, Hong Kong's Legislative Council has demonstrated remarkable legislative productivity, passing a record-breaking number of 117 bills in a single term, a 98% increase from the previous period. Despite this impressive output, the council faces internal discipline challenges, with lawmakers often neglecting attendance and participation, prompting the president, Andrew Leung, to propose stricter rules for attendance, voting, and work reporting. The expanded membership of 90 legislators appears to have diluted individual accountability, leading to proposals for enhanced oversight, including investigations into lawmakers' private conduct, such as extramarital affairs, an issue that raises questions about the enforcement of conduct standards in a city where adultery isn't illegal but can lead to divorce. While lawmakers are making laws for themselves, the real challenge remains whether such rules can be effectively enforced and whether the legislature can balance productivity with discipline and integrity. Meanwhile, the South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong's Mandatory Provident Fund, MPF, has achieved its third-best interim performance, with total assets reaching a record high of 1.429 trillion Hong Kong dollars, driven by a robust stock market rally and increased contributions. Investment returns averaged 8.9% in the first half of the year, propelled by a surge in Chinese stocks and a booming IPO market, which saw Hong Kong Stock Exchange ranking at the top globally for the first time since 2019. The fund's impressive performance reflected a shift away from U.S. assets amid the U.S.-China trade tensions, with investors increasingly favoring Chinese and Asian markets. Despite the market's growth, experts advise members to diversify and adopt long-term strategies to safeguard their wealth, emphasizing the importance of disciplined investing in a market environment characterized by rapid gains and global uncertainties. According to South China Morning Post, the Hong Kong office rental market is showing signs of stabilization, with a smaller decline of 1% in the second quarter compared to previous periods. The data reveals that prime locations like Central and Tsim Sha Tsui experienced milder rent decreases, with some analysts suggesting that the market may be approaching a bottom, especially in high-demand districts. Despite this cautious optimism, the overall rental prices remain significantly lower than their 2019 peaks, with Central's monthly rent dropping from 166 Hong Kong dollars and 10 cents to 89 Hong Kong dollars and 30 cents per square foot. Leasing activity is driven by the financial and professional services sectors, notably with large transactions like Henderson Land leasing a substantial space in Central at 137 Hong Kong dollars per square foot, signaling ongoing resilience in certain segments. However, experts warn that the limited rent recovery does little to alleviate the financial pressures faced by landlords, many of whom are grappling with high vacancy rates, abundant supply, and looming risks of distressed assets, with estimates indicating that nearly 10 million square feet of office space owned by distressed landlords could be at risk of discount sales or receivership. The South China Morning Post highlights the launch of the inaugural SCMP Business Awards, a refreshed and expanded initiative recognizing outstanding corporate achievements within the Greater Bay Area. The awards, which have evolved from the long-standing DHL-SCMP Business Awards, now include 7 categories such as Business Owner of the Year, Corporate Executive of the Year, and the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award. This event aims to spotlight the region's burgeoning innovation and growth, especially as Hong Kong's business landscape undergoes transformation amid China's economic development. The awards are distinguished by peer adjudication, with nominations open until September 30 and winners to be announced at a black-tie gala in December. The initiative underscores the Post's commitment to capturing the dynamic shifts in regional enterprise, celebrating visionary leaders and pioneering companies that exemplify resilience and expansion in an increasingly competitive global environment. South China Morning Post also reports on the challenging outlook for Hong Kong's manufacturing sector amid the end of the U.S.-China trade truce. While exports surged by 15.5% in May, largely due to front-loading shipments before tariffs resumed, manufacturers face the looming threat of increased costs and order cancellations once tariffs are reinstated. Companies like Winwood Corporation are already feeling the pinch, with clients in the U.S. pressuring them to absorb tariffs, which they cannot sustain. Diversification efforts are underway, with some firms partnering with factories in Indonesia and exploring new markets in Europe, though progress is slow. Industry experts warn that the risk of U.S. customs violations, especially under the False Claims Act, poses significant legal and financial threats, with penalties potentially devastating for non-compliant firms. The broader sentiment among local businesses is one of cautious preparedness, as they adapt their supply chains and strategies to navigate a long-term, complex trade environment shaped by geopolitical tensions and regulatory scrutiny. South China Morning Post highlights the inspiring journey of Hong Kong rugby hero Tom Hill, who, 3 years ago, was contemplating the end of his international career, believing he had only one shot at reaching the Rugby World Cup. Fast forward to the present, Hill stood proudly on the pitch in Incheon, celebrating Hong Kong's historic qualification for the 2027 World Cup in Australia with a commanding 70-22 victory over South Korea. His unwavering dedication, fueled by the expanded tournament and the dream of representing his adopted home, exemplifies resilience and camaraderie. Hill's partnership with fellow center Ben Axtonbutt, along with the collective effort of experienced players like captain Josh Hurstick, underscores the importance of teamwork and perseverance in overcoming physical and mental challenges. Despite the physical toll, Hill remains optimistic about the future, emphasizing the pride in their achievement and the hope of continuing their journey. South China Morning Post also details FWD Group's strategic move to leverage Hong Kong's robust capital markets through its $3.47 billion Hong Kong dollars IPO, marking a significant milestone in its expansion across Asia. Led by veteran CEO Huin Tan Fong, the insurer aims to use the funds to enhance its capital structure and broaden its regional footprint, focusing on markets like Thailand, Japan, and Indonesia. The company's success is rooted in Hong Kong's dynamic financial environment, which offers access to a vast customer base of over 280 million consumers via numerous banking partnerships. Since its inception, FWD has grown rapidly, with a notable rise in new business premiums and a remarkable turnaround to profitability in 2024, after years of losses. Huin's vision of building a Pan-Asian insurance powerhouse underscores Hong Kong's role as a regional hub, with its talented workforce and supportive regulatory landscape providing a fertile ground for FWD's ambitions. The South China Morning Post explores the rich history of 20th-century Cantonese art, revealing how artists from Guangdong and Hong Kong created a distinctive modernism amid China's turbulent political landscape. The exhibition Canton Modern at Hong Kong's M+ Museum showcases 200 works that reflect a unique blend of Western, Japanese, and traditional Chinese influences, illustrating a paradoxical tension between conservatism and progress. Artists like Yip Yin Chen and Fang Rending navigated themes of war, revolution, and social change, often using realism and modern techniques to depict the realities of their time. The exhibition also examines the circulation of images through propaganda, photography, and print media, highlighting how visual culture served political and social purposes. Furthermore, it emphasizes the evolving roles of women and the complex relationship between Guangdong and Hong Kong, especially after 1949, when the city's cultural identities diverged yet remained interconnected. Through this narrative, the museum invites viewers to reflect on how art from this period encapsulates both personal and collective histories, revealing the layered, multifaceted identity of Cantonese modernism. BBC reports on a controversial Chinese video game called Revenge on Gold Diggers, which sparked a heated debate over sexism and gender stereotypes. The game features male protagonists manipulated by women after their money, with all the gold diggers portrayed as women, reinforcing misogynistic labels like gold digger used disparagingly against women in everyday language. Critics argue the game perpetuates harmful gender norms, reflecting societal views that women belong at home and men are primary breadwinners, aligning with official rhetoric from China's male-dominated government. Despite backlash, including the game's renaming to Emotional Anti-Fraud Simulator and bans on its director, sales soared, with some praising its boldness amid concerns over emotional fraud's real-world impact. The controversy touches on broader issues of gender roles, societal expectations, and online hostility, with women fearing the game reinforces hostility and misogyny, while supporters see it as a conversation starter about love scams and emotional boundaries. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Turn on the TV screen, see the world unseen. China's on the news tonight, history in the spotlight. Scroll through my phone again, find out where to begin. Stories from the east to west, learning from the very best. News in China every day, learning in a fun new way. From the cities to the farms, feel the heartbeat, feel the charm. Ancient tales in modern times, mountains high and river rise. Culture rich in every town, golden driving never down. Every headline a new friend, from beginning to the end, connecting hearts through every word. China's story always heard. News in China every day, learning a fun new way. From the cities to the farms, feel the heartbeat, feel the charm. Every headline a new friend, from beginning to the end, connecting hearts through every word. China's story